All right, guys, let's clear some of the air really quick. In July of 2024, Not Long was getting ready to come out, and I made a Twitter post. It's really weird that we're using culture and music from different regions, Africa and Latin America, and then not featuring those people in the game. That is an enormous shame. This led to a sort of explosion of agitation and anger and real, like a real sense of outrage, calling me racist, calling me a white pig, telling me that my career was washed up, so on and so forth. Saying that I wanted Aventurine to die in Honkai Star Rail because I auditioned for it, which I never did. Calling me the leader of the woke movement, or on Billy, they call that the ZZZQ movement. Basically getting essentially review bombed for my video on that, talking about how my videos suck, how I'm insincere, how this, that, and the other. And, what am I going to do? I can't do anything about that. Like, there's a cultural divide there. That spilled into sort of my YouTube channel, and it spilled into, there was Tectone made a video about it, which is fine. I don't really care about that. About why I was leaving. I made a couple posts about why I was leaving and stopping and making less frequent Genshin videos, so on and so forth. And then on top of that, Wuthering Waves had come out, and that was something I was really looking forward to because I really loved what I played in terms of combat with Punishing Grey Raven. And so when Wuthering Waves came out, I was like, oh, this is actually what I prefer over Genshin, where oftentimes I felt like the story was sort of all over the place. I didn't really lock in with the story. I always really enjoyed exploration and like sort of seeing the vistas of Genshin. But ultimately, I think what ended up happening is I sort of became very agitated by those comments, and then and then I was putting out the Not Long videos, and there was a conversation around, oh, you're a hypocrite for putting these videos out. And it's like, I never said I was gonna like not involve myself with Genshin. I never said that I was gonna boycott Genshin. For me, being that I am friends with people from Latin America, that felt more of a thing that I was more connected to. So I suppose, if people want to say that's hypocritical, then fine. I mean, like I can't control what anybody says about this anymore. And that's fine. And so Wuthering Waves came out. I started to really lean into it. We know how the update to 1.0 happened. We know that 1.0 was kind of whatever. It was good, but it wasn't great. And it felt like a carbon copy of Genshin. Okay, so on and so forth. So I continue to do what I always do. But I don't interact with Honkai Star Rail anymore either, because I was getting auditions for Honkai Star Rail. And what ended up happening was I was actually being spoiled for what was happening. And frankly, I did not enjoy Penacony. I didn't enjoy that story arc. It felt overwrought with dialogue, and I just didn't care. I mean, I was not interested in that. I was interested in ZZZ, but then I was leveling up Ellen, and I was like, hold on, like I'm spending all this time leveling up this character. It's what I do in every single gacha game. And I just sort of got tired of it. It especially because ZZZ is such a concentrated thing where it really feels like you're like leveling up in the same way that you do and spending all your mats and stuff and the time gating. That's all the stuff that happens in every other Hoyo title. And obviously it happens in every other gacha game. I was also playing Arknights at that time on top of other games, not just gacha games. And so I was kind of just like tired of the thing. So I just stopped playing ZZZ, and also like I'm trying to save money. So then Wuthering Waves comes out 2.0, and I'm really excited about it because it's like, it's a real change of pace. I mean, yeah, I do think it's defying gacha games and moving in a different direction. I really felt like the story was the predominant important feature of the game. And I also thought that flying was also defying the gacha like game landscape. And it really does feel like Kuro is moving in a different direction. You gotta understand that like people outside of the gacha sphere, most people think gacha is terrible. Like most people, I have had to defend gacha and my content revolving around gacha games on this channel more than anything else. And there was a point where I was making a lot of Genshin content and people would be like, hey, I'd love for you to stop making so much Genshin content because it's just constantly Genshin content. And to be fair, at that point, I was actually sponsored to Genshin, and I was like, okay, well, like I could have sold out and I could have only done Genshin and made a shit ton more money. But like, that's never been the scope of the channel. This channel has always been about music. It's always been about, all sorts of different kinds of music. People want to use the fact that my channel sort of really took off with FromSoft because that was around the corner of Elden Ring, and that really like thrusted the forward momentum of the channel. And then I started 3 years ago, I started reacting to Genshin, and that did very well, of course. And then I sort of doubled down on it, not just because it was popular, but also because I genuinely liked it. I liked Yu Peng Chen's compositions. And then as things have gone on, I've started to realize that like I really like Yu Peng Chen's music. There are other composers there that I also enjoy, but I don't have the connection that some of the people that come onto this channel, or the people on Bilibili that were pissed at me, I don't have that emotional connection to Genshin like you guys do. Like, that's your game. That's not my game. Last year I played 487 games, guys. I have no allegiance except for maybe Warframe and Guild Wars 2. And even those, I mean, like, I constantly oscillate. Like, I play everything. So I don't have this mentality or this tribalism where like, I only play this or I only play that. Wuthering Waves, I streamed it really intensively for 3 days, 4 days straight, 5 days straight, and I haven't touched it. And now I'm going to play it again on Saturday. Why? Because I want to, because there's something I want to get out of that with a skin. And I want to do an event to get that, or I want to pull for Rocha or whatever. Like that I don't really operate in the same way that a lot of other people do, where they have one game where they play it all the time. And you and I all know that gacha games have this tendency to make us obsessive over them because we have to get pull currency. And because we have to like try to beat the 50-50, which is a shit ass model. So I understand that people are upset about that thumbnail, and the thumbnail in question is this one. And I look, I get it. The original concept for this thumbnail was it was actually going to be a mountain, and the mountain was going to be Wuthering Waves on top of not on top of the mountain, but like near the top of the mountain with other games near it. Okay. And it was still going to be the same. This is the thumbnail in question. It was going to be the same concept. And instead we chose to go with this one. And look, I get it. It's inflammatory. Yeah. It's got these two characters essentially drowning in a wave with Carlotta looking in the distance. It's actually a great thumbnail. It's pretty well designed. It tells exactly what the original title was, which was define the gacha stereotypes. And you may agree or disagree with that title. And the thing about it is that upset people. But you gotta understand, like, these are fictional, none of this is real. None of this is real. like people are attacking me and attacking my like life and my background and who I am as a person, saying I'm insincere. That's ridiculous. There's so much content here that is of a variety. And I continue to try to provide a variety, whether it's Monster Hunter, Wuthering Waves, Sonic, main themes, the video game quizzes. Yeah, there's a couple, what just came out? Rhythm games. Yes, look, Honkai Star Rail. Actually loved that theme. Warframe, Pokemon, Balatro, Infinity Nikki, the best games of the year. An interview with Alex Mukala, Path of Exile 2. Look, a whole video about gacha games. I understand, like, obviously my most popular video is the Scaramouche battle theme. And then, also La Signora. And then we can go further down. But look at the variety here. My top most played videos. It's not just Genshin Impact. Am I grateful for Genshin? Of course I am. I've never been like, fuck Genshin, it's the worst game ever made. But some of you guys are attaching so much of your personhood to a video game. A passive thing that we play to relax. So I understand the upsetness over this thumbnail, that has caused some upsetness, but really, I also think that the upsetness is not actually pointed. I mean, it's pointed towards me because I'm no different than rage baiting drama content creators, because they just like pull everything possible and create drama around it. And they create and they fuel this like sense of like, well, my game is better than this game and this game is better. But I want you to take a step back and consider the fact that what other game, besides maybe the console wars with PlayStation versus Xbox, do we really see like, well, Sonic is better than Pokemon because of this, and that, or I don't see anybody going, well, Breath of the Wild is better than Genshin Impact. Like, I mean, maybe that's a bad comparison. It probably is. So look, I think this thumbnail was, admittedly, I've been carrying a lot of anger towards a portion of the Genshin Impact community that have decided to like shit all over me. I get it. This thumbnail definitely pushed the edge of what is apparently appropriate for my content, because I guess my channel is a safe space. And I get that. I should be more neutral. But also, I made a video not too long ago and I asked people, should I give you my honest opinion? And the answer was yes. And so I've tried to do that. But that's obviously been met with pushback. And what am I going to do? Am I not going to celebrate the fact that I like Wuthering Waves more than Genshin? Because why? Because something is owed? Then I owe something to all of these games too then, guys. These are the most popular videos. Then I owe Kathy Kelly a lot. I owe Ultra Kill a lot. I owe Warframe a lot. I owe World of Warcraft a lot. I owe my buddy Luis a lot. I owe Greg Wanamaker a lot. I owe League of Legends a lot. You know, Baldur's Gate a lot. Well, what am I supposed to do? I mean, like, I'm just a person. So like, I am sorry if my content, it has been a safe space and this thumbnail like triggered you because of all the other bullshit that you see going around. In that case, yeah, I do feel bad. I like the thumbnail. It really does a good job of articulating how I felt about it. Could we have done it differently? Of course we could have. Of course we could have. But people shit on you for anything. They shit on you if you do a pog face. They shit on you if your face is even in the fucking picture. Even though we've looked at the stats doing thumbnail A/B testing, and we know that faces actually bring in more views than a static image. And realistically, this video has done well, but it's nothing crazy. I made $65 off of that video. So we can't even act like this video's has been done just for the sake of money. You know, and people are like, well, you should toughen up and you should do that. Look, I watched my dad die. And something happens to you when you experience that, bro. I mean, like I cry. I cry a lot. I'm a sensitive dude. One has to be sensitive if we're talking about emotion and we're talking about music. So, you know, for those of you that are like, you should just like ignore it. I mean, obviously I don't have a choice. I mean, I guess that's just part of my life and I kind of have to pick and choose. But like, you can't expect me to make emotional videos talking about the ins and outs of what we feel when we talk about music without being emotional. That's absurd. That makes no sense. You know, so I won't apologize for being an emotional person and not being able to like tolerate bullshit. It's bullshit. The quality has not changed. A lot of these videos have been in the works have been in the backlog for months. And I've always sort of treated this superficially. Talking about it from an emotional perspective is not going into the weeds of the technicalities. That is not what this channel is about. This channel is a music appreciation channel. This channel is where we talk about music. We talk about music and how it makes us feel. We talk about how a corner makes us feel, how a section makes us feel. I can't talk about everything because, again, you can't please everybody. So someone might say, hey, you're actually talking too much. On the flip side, they might say it's not talking about it enough. But I saw someone say that I was insincere or that I am shallow, and I just don't agree with that. And I will put my foot down about that because it's absurd. That's absurd. I don't know, man. Like, I've been carrying a lot of baggage about the whole Genshin Impact thing, and obviously it sucks to have like a community turn on you because they feel you turned on them. Dude, it's a fucking video game, man. I don't know. I feel bad that you're upset. That sucks. I'm still planning on making Genshin Impact content. Like, I'm not going to stop doing that. Because why? Because I'm a hypocrite? For what? For saying something bad about a game? What have I really said? What have I really said? I just like, you know, I'm sorry for making you feel like this was a safe space and then sort of pulling the rug from under you. But I want to remind you that this is a nothing. This is a nothing. This is a nothing. And I guess I stepped on a pile of snakes or something and I got bit. Okay, I guess. But like, it's just a nothing. It's a thumbnail. And every person on YouTube, look, every person on YouTube does it. Look, thumbs down, question mark. You know, I'm just sort of tired of having this like back and forth, which is why I deleted X, because I'm tired of it. I open the app every time, and every time it's just bullshit. It's just angry people. And I promised myself I would get off of it, and I just chose to. It's just too much. I'm a sensitive guy. I'm not going to change that. Not for you. Not for anybody. I've not even changed that for people that I'm with, significant others. This is who I am. I don't want you to be upset. but I also want to do things the way I want to do them. Nothing's changing on the channel. I'm still going to talk about whatever I want to talk about. I also think about it this way. Every gacha game has a new release every 4 to 6 weeks. I don't want this to be a gacha channel. I don't care if that's what brings in the most views. You know, people talk about selling out and stuff. You know, when I stopped making as many videos for Genshin, I left that sponsorship. I'm not sponsored by Kuro. We tried. They didn't go for it. Like, you know, I don't know, guys. I mean, I don't know. I feel bad. It sucks. I don't have an allegiance to any game. I've never had an allegiance to any game. I really am sorry if you felt like this was a safe space and you got your rug pulled out from under you. I mean, I'm not going to jump on everything. It's been 3 years. We're 3 years into this guy, February 11th. I'm just cruising. I'm just trying to always find my footing. I don't know. For those of you that this doesn't apply to, like, sorry. I mean, it's just, it's problematic. Yeah. All right. I'll talk to you later. Hopefully this clarified some things. Like, we're good. We're cruising. I'll talk to you later.